Out the gate, I got my fist pointed to the sky. If you've been woke, then I shouldn't have to tell you why. I'm a king in my own right, say I lie. To a prince, this what it sounds like when doves cry. Many men are woke and many men are still asleep. Many men have fought and many men lay 6 feet. Many men have been shot down as the preacher preach. Some men are leaders, but many men are just sheep. We in the world where niggas will take your life for pocket change. Where niggas will set you up and wet you up for clout and fame. A world where niggas been taught to hate themselves with so much pain. Grab a pistol, put in work instead of using their brain. There's moves being made, plays being played, guns being sprayed, niggas in the hood dying every day. The block is so hot, cops being shot, niggas getting locked. That's the plot. Fiend hustle over rocks. It's time to take a stand, time to make a plan, time to come together, every child, woman, and man. Malcolm X was any means, King had a dream. Rallied the team, but realized it wasn't what it seemed. Once upon a time, there was a man who died, gave his life to the world. On the stake, he cried, asked his father to forgive him. He was crucified. God gave his only child so we can live in the sky. We protest for equality, but nothing changed. Marching the streets is in peace, but shit stay the same. Black Lives Matters is the word we chant. We'll burn this bitch down if you don't agree with that. You leave us no choice. You give us no voice. Yo, what's up, y'all? Figured I'll hop on this live tonight real quick, man, for a quick sec. How y'all doing? What's up, Mo Baby? Carla's beautiful. Cousin, cooking with steel. What's up with y'all, man? How y'all feeling tonight? I like what y'all did earlier too, cooking and cousin. That was nice. Nice setup, nice scene. That shit was dope. Y'all keep pushing them out. Coleman, baby, in the building. I know, right, Coleman? So I be doing the booty call. I was like, yeah, I work so much, man. So, you know, I try to hop on when I can. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, tonight, man, I just wanted to talk about the fatal shootings in Chicago, man, over the weekend. It's crazy, yo. It's crazy. It's crazy, man. I couldn't believe it, man. When I first saw it, I was like, what? I mean, throughout all the shit we got going on already, man, we got this going on. Come on, man. Let me jump right into it, though, man. So 104 people got shot this weekend in Chicago. 14 people fatally wounded. That means they not coming back. They out of here, man. And it's crazy, man. And all this happening in Chiraq over Father's Day weekend. And you would think it's hey, Miss Cynthia, how you doing, sis? You would think it's Father's Day weekend. We coming through the protests. We coming through this liberation. We coming through this Black Power moment. And then we got a group of people back to the bullshit. You feel me? Just trying to take away from what we trying to build on, man. You know what I mean? Because I really feel like we building on something powerful, but as long as we got the renegades like that, man, it makes it look really, really bad, man. So I'm gonna start off Friday, man. Friday night, or Friday in general. A 33-year-old man was killed Friday night in Garfield Park on the west side. His name was Almus Colum. He was driving at 10:25 p.m. on the 4100 block of West Congress Parkway. Black SUV pulled up. Someone inside fired into his vehicle. He was shot multiple times and taken to Stronger Hospital, where he died at 10:49 p.m. The weekend's earliest homicide happened less than an hour earlier, blocks away in Austin. 3 men were outside about 9:52 p.m. in the 4800 block of West Gladys Avenue when someone in a passing vehicle unleashed gunfire, police said. Johnny T, 33, was shot in the neck, taken to Stronger Hospital, where he was pronounced dead. A 34-year-old man was shot in the foot and is in good condition. A 43-year-old man was shot in the lower back. He took himself to Mount Sinai Hospital. And this was just on Friday. And it's like, damn, man, you would think coming into the weekend again, Father's Day weekend, we building. And look at the ages. This is 33-year-old man, 34-year-old man, 43-year-old man. You see what I'm saying? Like, come on, these are grown men. Obviously, probably with kids at that age, you would think they would be trying to keep themselves, out of harm's way. But, the shit is lethal out here, man. It's lethal. All right, coming into Saturday, 2 men were shot, one of them fatally in another attack Saturday evening in Austin. Officers responded to reports of a person shot at 7:46 p.m., 200 block of North Central Avenue. They found 2 men on the sidewalk. Alonzo Robinson, 27, was shot in the torso. He was taken to West Suburban Medical Center, where he was pronounced dead. The other guy, 32, he was hit in the left foot and taken to the same hospital in good condition. But less than an hour before that, a man was fatally shot and another was injured in Logan Square on the northwest side. The men 23 and 24 was outside about 7 p.m., 1900 block of the 1900 block of Northwestern Avenue, where a group of males approached them yelling gang slogans. The group asked what gang the men were with, and a fight ensued. During the altercation, one of the males pulled a banger, shots fired. The 23-year-old man was struck in the neck and pronounced dead on the scene. The 24-year-old man was hit in the arm and was taken to St. Mary's Elizabeth Medical Center. Luckily, he didn't die. That was on Saturday. So now you got Friday. It's going digital. These folks is out there just losing it. Then coming into Saturday, man, same situation. It's like, this shit transpired. Early Sunday, a man was killed and 3 others were wounded in shootings in Humboldt Park. The men were arguing with a group about 12:04 a.m. in the 2600 block of West Potomac Avenue, where they were shot, authorities said. Alex Perez, 41, was shot multiple times and was pronounced dead on the scene. 2 other men, 23 and 21, both went to stronger and good condition. The older man was shot in the knee and hip, while the younger man was shot in both legs. A 4th man, 34, was shot in his legs and arms. He was treated and released from Mount Sinai Hospital. Sunday evening, a shooting left 1 man dead and another wounded Sunday in Humboldt Park. They were shot about 7:30 p.m. in the 800 block of North Springfield Avenue. Toby Bournes, 22, was struck in the chest and pronounced dead at Stroger Hospital. A 34-year-old man was hit in the arm and abdomen and was taken to the same hospital in critical condition. 10 minutes earlier, listen now, I ain't talking about hours. I ain't talking about, from early morning to, I'm talking about in minutes, man. I mean, these people are literally gunning each other down within minutes, man. It's like a race to see how many people you can kill in Chiraq, man. This shit is fucking bananas, yo. This shit is bananas, man. 34-year-old man was hit in the arm and abdomen, was taken to the same hospital critical condition. 10 minutes earlier, a man was shot to death in West Rogers Park of Northside. Gary Tender, 20 years old, was walking about 7:20 p.m. in the 6200 block of North Troy Street when someone approached and shot him in the abdomen, authorities said. He was taken to St. Francis Hospital, where he was pronounced dead. This shit is crazy, yo. And that was on Sunday. You see what I'm saying? It's like, it's like we speak of pandemics all the time. Like, we in a pandemic, Man, we've been in a pandemic, yo. I keep saying this shit. In our community, man, we've been in a fucking pandemic, yo. These young boys is out here reckless renegades, man. They don't care. They don't care about life, man. They don't care about their life. They don't care about our life, man. Monday morning, the weekend's latest fatal shooting left a man dead, Monday morning in Lawndale. 41-year-old was on the street at 4:26 a.m. in the 3800 block of West Harrison Street. Well, someone shot him in the face, according to the Popo. He died an hour later. Minutes earlier, another man was killed in East Garfield Park. He was 30 years old, and he was walking at 4:18 a.m. in 100 block of South Washington Avenue. Well, someone in the alley fired shots, according to the Popo. He was hit in the neck and taken to Stroger, where he died. That was Monday. So from Friday through Monday, these people just went ham. What's up, cousin? How you doing, sis? Yeah, it's sad, man. It's sad. When I wanted to cover it a couple days ago, but I thought somebody else was gonna cover it, so I was chilling, man. But some told me just to hop on live and just talk about it for a minute, man. It's just crazy, yo. Just crazy. Now there was 5 children killed too, and this is the most saddest part about it. It says the latest child fatally happened earlier Monday in Austin on the west side. 2 boys, 15 and 16, were walking in an alley at 12:18 a.m. in the 4700 block of West Superior Street. Let me pause for a minute. 2 boys, 15 and 16, were walking in the alley at 12:18 a.m. They were supposed to be their ass at the fucking crib. Grown folks, how you doing, sir? Salute. Thank you for stopping by. 15 and 16, they walking in the alley, 12:18 a.m. They need to be at the bed. They need to be in the house. They need to be doing something productive. They need to be asleep. Let me take that back. You know what I mean? Getting some rest for the next day. But they out there. They out there in the streets, in the trenches. 12:18 a.m., 4700 block of West Superior Street, when someone fired at them, possibly from a gray sedan, according to the police. The 15-year-old was shot in his leg, chest, and abdomen. He was taken to Stronger Hospital and pronounced dead. 15 years old. 15 years old, walking in the alley. Ain't no telling what they was getting into or what happened. They probably was just chilling. Should have been at home, but who knows? He was shot in the leg, the chest, and the stomach. Pronounced dead. The other boy, 16, was hit in the ankle and also taken to Stroger Hospital. He was, considered fair condition. Saturday night, a 13-year-old girl was killed, and 2 other teens were wounded in Austin on the west side. The girl was inside a home about 8:30 p.m. in the 1000 block of North LeClaire Avenue. When the shots fired, she was struck in the neck. Amaria J. Jones, she was taken to Stroger when she was pronounced dead. A 13-year-old girl. 13-year-old girl. And you're right, grown folks. That's a question. Hey, Miss Maria, how you doing? D. Whitmer, what's happening? Thank y'all for pulling up on the kid. But you're right, grown folks. Was it the police? Was it the KKK? It's a good question. But we do need to deal with this because it's us, the one who's leaving here, man. You know what I mean? It's not them. I don't cut on the news and I see 40 white people over the weekend have been shot dead in any particular city. Or, you know what I'm saying? It's crazy. Okay, pronounced dead, authorities said. 2 boys, 15 and 16, were sitting on the porch. It's the same day now. 2 boys, 15 and 16. Let me go back. I'm gonna read the other one again. The girl was inside a home about 8:30 p.m. in the 1000 block of North LeClaire Avenue. When the shots were fired, she was struck in the neck. Her name was Amara J. Jones. She was taken to Stroger Hospital where she was pronounced dead. She in the house chilling. She not out there doing nothing crazy. She not out there moving around and stealing and doing stuff like that from what I'm reading. A young lady, man. That could have been any of us, because that's what we do over the weekend. We chill. We make sure we try to keep our babies in the house, keep them safe. But if they out there in the streets firing, man, all these bullets, man, these bullets have no name. These bullets have no names on them, man. You know what I mean? It's just sad, man. Next is it was two boys, 15 and 16. They were sitting on the porch when one of them noticed a red laser pointing at them, and they heard gunfire. The younger boy, who was 15, he was struck in the back, and the older boy was struck in the leg. They were both taking them outside the hospital in good condition. Now, 2 hours earlier, a 3-year-old boy was fatally wounded when someone opened fire at his father while they were driving in Austin. Let me say that again. 2 hours earlier, a 15-year-old and a 16-year-old just got shot. Luckily, I think neither one of them died. But then 2 hours later, you have a 3-year-old young man, probably beautiful little young man. No, probably. He was a beautiful young man. Chilling with his dad. I know dad is over the weekend, Father's Day weekend. Probably a proud father. Got his little junior with him. Someone just opened fire on these people, man. Shit's crazy, yo. The toddler, identified as Makai James, was struck in the back about 6:25 p.m. when someone in a blue Honda pulled behind the black SUV. The boy's 27-year-old father was driving in the 600 block of North Central Ave and fired several rounds, authorities said. A source said that the father was believed to be the intended target of the shooting. The father drove the boy to West Suburban Medical Center in Oak Park, but the boy was pronounced dead shortly after arrival. The father was also treated for a graze wound to the abdomen. Then it says two teenage boys were killed just over an hour before that in South Chicago. Now, like I tell y'all now, we're not talking about days going by. We're talking about a war zone. Like, this shit is intensified. It's high intensity everywhere you go, man. It's got to be. People are dying by the minutes. They're dying by the minutes in Chicago, man. It's crazy, yo. Two teenage boys were killed just over an hour before that in South Chicago. Jason Jashawn Francis, 17, and 16-year-old, and the 16-year-old were in an alley about 5:10 p.m. in the 7900 block of South Luella Avenue when a male suspect approached him and fired shots. Hold up, man. So you got a 17-year-old and a 16-year-old. You got a male suspect just out of nowhere fire shots. Why? These are young men. I know around that age, you do get in a lot of trouble. You probably get the fisticuffs, you get the fighting. It's just different things that happen. But these guys just picking up these guns, man. It's all trigger play. It's all trigger play. There's no more talking out here, man. It's no more talk, man. But anyway, let me finish this. When a male suspect approached them and fired shots, Francis was shot in the back, chest, and hand, while the 16-year-old was shot in the back and side. Both were taken to the University of Chicago Medical Center, where they both were pronounced dead. Francis was shot in the back. He was a 17-year-old. He was shot in the back, chest, and hand, while the 16-year-old was shot in the back and side, and they both were pronounced dead at the University of Chicago Medical Center. So over that whole weekend, you had 104 people shot. 104 people shot in one weekend. I mean, I was in the military, and I don't know about y'all, but I mean, I've seen situations where, I mean, even in wartime, you won't have that many people shot on any given day because it's peace at some time, and it'll spike up and it'll get crazy, and deaths will happen. But they have 104 people shot in a free society, and it seems like seemingly nothing over nothing. They're not saying that these people want to rob them. They're not saying that, these people, it was a retaliation after someone else being killed. They're not saying any of that in this report anyway. You know what I'm saying? Who knows what's really going on? But I'm just looking at it for surface. You got 104 people shot, 14 killed. You got babies that got killed over other people's negligence, man. It's crazy. And this was all over Father's Day weekend. All over Father's Day weekend. A weekend that's supposed to be joyous, happy, fun, for the fathers, and ego. Ego. I agree. It's a lot of ego going on in our community. I agree. And it's supposed to be joyous and happy, you know what I mean, for families. You know what I'm saying? But you got just those sectors of people like grown folks TV throughout there. Is it gangs? Is it cops? Is it us? I mean, who knows? Who knows? D. Whitmer, he says, I am at the University of Chicago. We couldn't even keep up the helicopter on the ground. We ran all weekend. That's crazy, D. Whitmer. Y'all ran all weekend. And what are you? Are you a nurse? Are you a doctor? Let us know in the chat. We'll definitely love to probably get you to come up on the panel and talk to us. Can you come up on the panel? I'll drop the link in the chat. You come up and talk to us and let us know. 2Ps, what's up, sis? But yeah, man, it's crazy, man. This is crazy. Over the weekend, we supposed to, again, like I said, we're supposed to be enjoying, man. I mean, we're going through a lot of stuff right now. You got the COVID going on. What's up, Lala? You got the COVID going on. You know what I'm saying? You got the Black Lives Matter movement where I thought, and I felt we was moving ground, we was pushing ground, we was breaking through, we was, we was setting a good pace. And in my mind, I was like, the only thing we need to do now, the next step, is to unify and get ourselves together. Like I said in one of my previous lives, man, we got millions of people riding for us right now. They want to see us win. They sitting back like, go black man, go black woman, go. I'm with y'all. I'm pushing for y'all. I'm risking my life out here for y'all because I know who y'all are. And then you got this shit to happen over the weekend. I mean, we're in one of the most critical times of our lives right now as a community. The least we could do is stop killing each other, yo. The least we can stop doing is killing each other, man. It's crazy. It's crazy. I don't know where we go from here. I don't know. It's like we take 10 steps forward and then we take 20 steps backwards. And if it is like grown folks says, if it is an outside force that's doing us this way, I mean, why? Because I'm with the whys and I'm just trying to find answers. Why would we have a group of people killing us off like that? Especially our youth and stuff like that. I mean, if they were trying to exterminate us, I mean, wouldn't it be a larger scale? I mean, I just don't know. I don't know. I don't know. But if it is us out there doing it to us, we got to be better. We got to do better, man. We got to do better. We got to do better. Because what's happening now ain't what's up. I'm a father of two. And my daughter just got accepted to a prestigious college in Illinois. So I fear for her life. I'm not going to lie. I'm a God-fearing man. I pray to God. I know who he is. I've accepted him in my life, and so has she. But the father side of me it's like, damn, I don't want to send my baby out there. My son has some time to go before he leaves the nest, but damn, I don't want to send my daughter out there. It's just so much violence. I mean, we can't shelter them. You know, we got to let them get out there and see what life is about. But at the same time, this life is not the life that we grew up under. We didn't grow up under these circumstances. We were able to go outside and kick it. We were able to go outside and relax and just post up. You know what I'm saying? Go outside from 8 o'clock in the morning, just as long as we were home before the street light came on. We were able to do that. We had fun. I'm literally scared to send my kids out right now, man, because these bullets have no name. They have no name. I know this one guy, I cut his hair, he's from Chicago, and he told me growing up, there would be, moving around in the city like teenager, 13, 14, and they would just go in the alley because they would always be up and down the alleys. And in each alley, they would find crates full of guns. And he asked me, he was like, dude, how you think them guns got there? I was like, shit, I don't know. You tell me. He said, bro, the police. The police. So that makes me go back to think about when the Black Lives Matter movement, they had the bricks strategically placed. Like, it's an outside force definitely playing a part in what's going on right now. And it has a lot to do in my mind with subliminal. It's a lot of subliminal things going on. It's a lot of mind-altering things going on right now that our kids are not familiar with through the music, through a lot of these video games, through a lot of programming, because that's all it is a program. It's programming. It's programming people to think, act, and do a certain thing unconsciously. You know what I mean? So it's just crazy. It's crazy, man. It's crazy, man. I'm at a loss for words. But yeah, I just wanted to come here and kick that to y'all, man. I don't know if y'all, I'm a RN. This is D. Whitmer in the chat. I'm a RN, 26 years, and a respiratory therapist, 11 years. Do emergency room and flight. The shooters need to stop. It's gang related. Would love to come on the panel, but I'm at work until 7. Man, I wish you could come up, D. Whitmer, man, for a minute. You can step in the bathroom. Just come on and let us know you real. You feel me? I'll come up next panel you have. I have lots to say. All right, cool. I'm gonna hold you to that. I'm gonna be looking for you. You know what I mean? But just typing in the chat is good enough. You know what I'm saying? Because we need that information. It's the same with this virus. Talk to us in the chat about the virus. Willie Signifield, late to the party, trying to catch up. Okay, what's up, bro? How you doing today, sir? But yeah, man, it's crazy, man. It's crazy. I mean, we got people with boots on the ground in Chicago, as you can see in the chat, and even they're verifying this shit. You know what I mean? That it's wild out here, man. It's wild. I mean, we gotta do something better. We gotta do something better to get what we want. We gotta do something better. We out here killing each other, then they killing us. Like, think about this shit. I'm gonna kill you, and then your people gonna kill me, and then they gonna kill my brother, and then they gonna kill your brother. This shit don't make no sense. This shit don't add up. We already catching the raw end of the deal through systemic racism. We already can't get good jobs. We already can't, get coaches in the NFL, black coaches in the NFL. We already damn near still under some Jim Crow laws. You know what I'm saying? We already still in semi-slavery, mental slavery at that anyway, at best. I know we going through mental slavery still. And we still killing each other. You want to come up, Mr. Grown Folks TV? Let me drop this in the chat. If you have some stats, man, drop it on us real quick. I ain't gonna be here all night. I wanted to come up and drop some facts real quick. But if you got something, come on up and talk to us real quick. We'd love to hear it. No, we can't. Two P's. We can't win for losing. We can't win for losing, man. We killing each other. They killing us. It's like we on a treadmill, man. We on the treadmill. We got that motherfucker going 100 miles per hour, and we can't even keep up. We just running our fucking life out. You know what I mean? When God put us on this planet, He put us on here to enjoy this place, man. God didn't put us on this planet to go through hell. Grown folks, I'm bringing you up right now. I'm gonna finish this topic. God didn't put us on this planet to go through hell. God put us here so we can enjoy the fruits and the labor of everything that this planet has to offer us. He didn't put us here to make us hurt and go through some of the things that we're going through. All right, we got Mr. Grownfolks coming up. How you doing, sir? You come off mute.
Hey, how you doing today, brother? That is mind blowing, man. What you just said, 104 people over the weekend of Father's Day. That is sad. That breaks my heart, man.
Three
Wow.
days. 3 days.
Yeah, yeah, that's crazy. Like you said, not even in a war zone, in a official war zone, do it even go down like that? You know,
Exactly.
that's crazy. So what I did while you were talking, I went to the FBI site, and they
Okay.
have information about how many people are killed a year. What's the ratio of victims opposed, victims and people who are the offenders? And it's statistically now, I want you to understand these people collect this data because it's a part of their narrative. It's a part of their narrative. Now here's some facts. Police kill every year across the country. Across the country. There is between 350 and 500 fatal shootings of African American men, whether they're unarmed, armed, whatever. All right. So
Okay.
let's take it to the extreme number and say 500 brothers die at the hands of the police a year. Well, unarmed, whatever. Let's just use that number of 500. All
Okay.
right. So the cops kill unarmed black men 500 times a year. We only hear about the ones that are caught on tape.
Right.
If it ain't on tape, we don't get to hear about it because it's local. Then it only becomes national when it's caught on tape. But
Right.
here's another thing, and this is deep. We lose. We as a people, the black community, we lose every year across the country due to black on black crime about 7,000 brothers
Wow.
across the country.
Wow.
Think about that.
Wow.
In every major city across the country, they keep their crime statistics. You got 500 this year, you got 400, you got 300, and all across the country, it comes up in between 6,500 and 7,000. Now, let's do the math. Let's do the math. So let's take the black men that are killed by police officers.
500.
Let's times that by 10 years.
You got
10 years.
5,000.
All right, let's take that 7,000 and do that by 10 years.
You got 70,000.
Wow.
That's a huge difference, my brother.
It's a big difference, man. And see, the thing is that again, they keep this data. You can go to your FBI right now. You can Google FBI expanded homicide data, and they'll break it down. And you know what? It's real. It's here. They keep this data, and this is why the police are allowed to kick your ass. This is why the police are allowed to put their knees on your necks. This is why, because we kill each other.
Right.
We kill each other. Now, that does not mean that there are not infiltrators who put on masks, who come into our community and kill us too.
Right. We see that a
But
lot.
yeah, we know that happens. But the reality is that who do you fear the most? Do you fear the police officer or do you fear your brother?
Man,
Because
that's
the,
a great question.
ain't that deep?
That's deep, brother.
Because the reality is that you got a better chance of getting killed by your brother than that police officer. That's real talk.
Damn, I ain't even think about it like that. You just hit it right there, dude. You hit it right there.
Yeah, that's sad, man.
That's really sad.
Yeah,
That's
it's sad. Man. And you know what, man? I engage with these cats sometimes, trying to get them to see things. Sometimes you got to get down in the mud. You got to talk to your brothers in a language that they understand. But the reality is that let's look at this. What's in Chicago? What's in Chicago? The Rainbow Coalition, Jesse Jackson, Barack Obama, right? And
right.
who else? The FOI, Louis Farrakhan. All of these great leaders all come from Chicago.
They do.
Yeah,
Great
and
influence.
they can't fix it.
I know. That's why I'm thinking it's something much stronger perpetuating this stuff. It's putting those things into place where no one ever will be able to fix
It's sad to say, man. It's sad to say, but we can lose a generation of good black folk, all because of PST. When you are, I like Dr. Joy DeGrow. If you ever heard of her, she wrote a book, and it was
it.
about, yeah, beautiful book. Uh,
Do you have
um,
the name?
yeah, let me make sure I'm saying it right. It's called post traumatic slave syndrome.
Okay.
Post traumatic slave syndrome. Traumatic slave syndrome.
PTSS instead of
Yep,
PTSD.
yep.
Okay. I'm
And
gonna
and see, bro, you're gonna enjoy this book. It's gonna make you look at things because just like, well, you serve the country, so when you go into a war zone, you understand that that is a highly stressful environment, and it can affect you because of the things that you have to do, and then when you come back into society, you have to deplete. You have to deal with yourself internally for the things that you did. You may never have killed a man until you went and put your uniform on.
right.
Okay, but that was an order. You had a flag that you were fighting under. Blah blah blah. But the result is that you may have killed some people. You may have killed by accident. You may have seen children blown up into pieces, and that can cause mental stress on you. Well, this sister that wrote that book, Post Traumatic Slave Syndrome, what she is saying is that we are fucked up as a people, man. Because when we came out of slavery, when the black community came out of slavery, did nobody offer us any mental help? You got people
That's facts.
who 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 were in very traumatic situations. Mother sold, children sold. Sold, mama raped, sister sold, children raped. All of that, all the mental anguish of being in a war zone and being kept down for a period of time for hundreds of years. And now somebody walks in your life and they say, "All right, you free."
Right. And then not only you're free, hey, go out and be great.
Yeah, go out and be great.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I'm not gonna give you any of the tools to be great with, by the way.
Exactly. So these post traumatic slave syndrome basically is saying that we didn't get the coping skills that we needed. We grew up emulating the master.
Right.
That's all we had as an example. The master. The master whoop your ass. We whoop our children ass. They let their children run amok. Look at little Johnny running around. No, 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 I don't want to go. And they have temper tantrums. But black mothers say what? You better
Wait.
get your ass up. You better
Right.
get your ass up. Don't you cut up out here. I will whip your ass. Right? But little Bobby is allowed to have a temper tantrum. I remember growing up. hearing that, boy. If you ever cut up like these little white kids, I'm gonna tear your ass up. Don't you ever embarrass mama, right? If you embarrass mama out in Walmart, you know you about to get fired up. You might get fired up right there on the scene. But
Right.
that is a trait. That is something that was left over from our slave training to beat. Whereas their children are allowed to grow and make mistakes. We can't afford to make mistakes. Our children, in other words, are growing up in an environment where they haven't had the proper um, training. So if a mother and a father aren't together, and let's just say this person has mental illness or post traumatic syndrome, right? All right, if mommy and daddy both have it, the child will grow up in a house thinking that is normal. So to that child, it's normal. And so you grow up, you pass those same traits on to your children because nobody ever taught you that this is not normal to be under that type of stress. You see what I'm saying? And our
No,
children are being passed on a lot of things, and that's why the destruction of the family. I hear you talking about your daughter, right on, man. I love mine too, man. And I think that's what it's going to take. It's going to take men, you, me, and other men to come together, and whatever we got to do to say this has got to stop. Not just with talk, because at the end of the day, these brothers and sisters that are out there, some need a hug, some need to be put down. It's sad to say because you can't fix them. And all they're going to do is deter us from getting to the mountaintop. They're going to always be that I believe in redemption. I believe in trying to work with people. I believe all of that. But at some point, we as men, good men, we got to say, that's it, babe. That's enough.
okay.
You know, and and that is the only way it's going to get fixed because then the system is going to allow them to continue to do what they do because it keeps all of us down.
I agree. I
D-
mean, we're in a place now where the system is not going to fix us. We have to fix us. Hold on, Mr. Bronco. I'm looking at the chat. So some people are saying that he compared black on black to police killing. So was that your intention to compare the black on black to police killings, or
yes, I mean it's a reality. I mean, if you look at the statistics, you have to, look at it that way. Like, who or what is more dangerous? Is it the police or is it your brother? Depending on what area, what city, what part of the country you're in, do you fear the police more? Or like, why aren't we marching about that baby that just died? What I mean, are we gonna riot because that 3-year-old baby, didn't even get a chance because some fools are out here being stupid.
and I do
Now
agree.
I'm ready to riot about that. You want to riot? You want to march? See, we ain't gonna march against that though. We ain't gonna never come together about that. We'll sit back and say, well, the police thing that's different. Wait a minute, life is life. Does it matter who takes it?
So you're looking
Does
you
it matter?
when you express
Hmm.
that, you express that from a numbers perspective. So I got what you were doing when you looked at the numbers, just the flat out numbers. Now, is my neighbor, which is a black man who have kids, are they bad? Are they out here killing? No. Is the guy up the street with his kids, his sons, are they killing? No. But when you look at the numbers and you look at the numbers of people in those areas where it's going down, you can't never deny the numbers. I mean, I gotta agree with you on that, but you can't deny the numbers.
No, I get what this brother Willie is saying too. Who do we pay? Of course, you pay the police, but we ain't talking about paying nobody. I understand. What we're talking about is what is the condition that allows the police to do what they do. See, when we have brothers out here killing each other at 104 people shot in the city of Chicago over the weekend, how do you tell a cop go out there and be nice and courteous to people? It's just not going to happen. Everybody is suspect. They're going to treat everybody disrespectfully because anybody and everybody is a threat. So you can't pick and choose who's gonna be your threat and who's gonna be your buddy, and you be courteous. When you walk into a war zone as a soldier, I'm sure you look at everybody as a potential hostile. That's a fact.
That's definite.
I mean, do you agree with that, True?
Oh, that's
You know,
definite.
you look at the
Gotta make it home.
yeah, you look at the yeah, you looking at the children, you looking at the ladies, you looking at the men. You don't care that they're smiling at you, do you? When you walking through a village, right? When you on recon, you walking through the village and you looking at everything. You looking at the dog like it might be strapped with a bomb.
Oh, facts. You got to keep your head on the swivel because you know you're in a high intense zone. All right, let me go to the chat one more time.
Yeah.
Uh, Willie
Hey,
said,
listen.
uh-huh.
No, I was gonna say I'll go back down to the chat. I appreciate you giving me a chance to talk. You know,
Well, I
I
mean, you
appreciate
got
it.
people expressing your opinion. That's why I wanted to keep you up there because people
Oh
want. If you don't mind, I mean, if you want to go, you can go. But
no, Black Truth, man. I enjoy your show, man. I enjoy your show. That's why I come over here. Your show is one of the places that I come to have a grown folk conversation. You know, so yeah, I'm more than willing to oblige you.
okay, so does anyone want to come up and have a dialogue with Mr. Grown Folks? You can come up. I'm gonna drop the link in the chat. Because talking in the chat, I can't read the chat and read questions and dialogue with this brother like properly. So if you want to come up, you got something to say, man. This is your time. It's your time to shine. You feel me? But from some of the things he was saying, though, I mean, hey, when you speak of numbers, man, again, numbers don't lie. I mean, when we speak from how we feel, that's one thing. But then when you just speak from cold hard numbers, man, they can't be denied. I mean, real talk. And the topic of this this live is 104 people shot, 14 fatally in Chiraq. So we are talking about us killing us right now. You know what I mean? Yeah, we do know the police kill us for sure. We know that without a doubt. That's happening. But okay, we got some people up. Miss Tawana, she's up. But in reality, we're killing each other as well. Hey, what's up, Miss Tawana? What's up, T Labs? How y'all?
Hey,
What up, what up, what up, what up? What's good, everybody in the audience? What's up, big bro, Black Truth?
Oh, chilling, bro. Thank y'all for coming up.
Cool, cool. I'm
hey,
gonna make it quick. Miss Juana, where's your baby? How you?
Buddy Tony, ZX, and Black Truth.
No doubt.
Well, I'm
Thank
not,
How y'all doing this evening?
I'm gonna make mine quick so y'all can get y'all's in before I go to sleep. All right, look, I don't agree with what the brother's saying. So far as if we stop killing each other, the police is gonna stop killing each other. Always remember, before we was heavily killing each other, it was already killing us off. So that's one thing I don't be liking that they always hit that people always like to say. Stop saying black on black crime. It's just crime. That's it. People kill. But it's wrong for the police who take an oath to be sitting up here killing with no problem. And you are also talking of a city that is ran by at least mob rule. So before it could
Exactly.
always be, oh my God, we gotta stop killing each other. Before we was doing it, they was already doing it at massive numbers. Always remember the numbers before the ones that are going on now. That's all I want to say. You feel what I'm saying? I don't like hearing all that. Stop saying black on black crime. Crime is crime, no matter who it is. Chinese man kills somebody, he kills somebody. It come to us, we always labeling what we do. Stop labeling what we do because nobody else labels themselves. We label each other. Stop that. Just let it be crime. Should we
Can I
stop killing each other? Yes, we should. But I don't be liking to hear if we don't do it, they won't do it because they still gonna do it regardless of if we stop. We can have a curb, but violence and killing will not ever stop. We can curb it. That's all I wanted to say. You
Oh,
feel me?
don't.
all right? Let me ask. Can I address you before you go, brother? I'd
Sure.
appreciate it.
Yes,
All
sir.
right, all right, all right. I the black crime thing. That's not me. That's the government. They keep the statistics of it. That's a fact. It's not me. It's not something. It's not a catchphrase. When a black man kills another black man, that goes in the books as a black man killing another black man.
Right.
Plain and simple. Let me finish. If I can deal with Mr. Chucky. All right. Now that's a fact. And the reality is that it's a psychology behind it. That's what I was talking about when I talk about the book. It's a psychology behind it because of our activities with each other. It justifies the things that they do.
But they
That's why we would. That's why I get.
but they've been doing this beforehand. You understand what I'm saying? That's what I understand what they say in the book. Since you're saying that is a psychological thing, how about we psychologically stop allowing them to say it's just black on black crime when it's just murder, point blank. If we get to that point, then some of the stuff that we do to each other can be a curb. That's all I'm saying is have a curb. But don't sit here and always say if we stop doing it, they're gonna stop doing it when they was already doing
No,
it before we was doing it. That's all.
yeah,
That's the point
I,
I want to make.
I, I don't disagree with you that if we don't stop killing each other, they're going to stop killing us. I don't disagree with that point, but the point that I'm trying to make is a bigger one, which is that we will never be able to control or change that fact that they kill us randomly if we give them the excuse to kill us based off of our activity. That's all I'm
Well,
saying.
ZX, I gotta speak up, and I hear what you're saying loud and clear. And I beg to differ on the fact that the police killings, what did Sandra Bullock do to make them believe that she should have been killed? What did Rodney do to make them feel that he should do? What did um, Amber do? What did Floyd do? I mean, we're talking about people that we pay, that go through training, that takes an oath, that's held up the standard. We are not talking about black on black crime that is normally done. Black killings is normally crime related. It's usually have something to do with drugs or something to do with gangs or something of that nature. I'm not saying it is the only, but when you look into those numbers that you're quoting, that's what you're looking at captured in those numbers. But we're talking about the police coming up to citizens, law abiding citizens, or they have, I just don't think that the police has the right, the authority to hold trial for us and convict us on murder in the middle of the street at will, regardless of black on black crime.
I
Y-
agree.
You're, you're never going to get me to disagree with that point. But let me ask you this question then, sis. Why don't they do it to the Chinese? Why don't they do it to the Mexicans? Why don't they do it to other cultures and people? But other
They do it
cultures
to
and
us,
people,
right?
well, yeah,
Okay.
other cultures are unified. Other cultures are unified. And if a baby was killed in their community over the weekend, they would come together to fix that problem. We are going to dance around the issues instead of saying this has to stop. See, the greatest thing in my life to me is our women and children as a man. Now,
Let me
other
answer your
people,
question before you move on.
okay, go ahead.
We have many issues as a black society. I'm not talking community, I'm talking society. When you compare us to a lot of the genders that you have, um, Chinese are here, yes, and they all are here and they come together. But the difference in it is that where we fall short and what our battle is about is all lives matter, because it can't matter until black lives matter. We are the only race that came here and has been here at a disadvantage. There are many studies, there are many reports that supports the fact that every other race that's out there, the only difference in the average black child and them is not that they're not as smart as they are. They're not starting out on the same ground. They are always starting out the head. Rather is generations of education, generations of money. We when we start out as a black community, we don't have those two things starting out. So I think that we do have a problem, and the biggest one is education. And when I mean education, education on politics, education on our rights, different things like that. So, you as a brother, and I'm challenging every grown man or woman that I hear sitting up here talking this subject, whether you have one person, a community, or whatever, uplift them. There are people in your neighborhood. Y'all keep on saying, what is the problem? The problem is we are the adults. We are not standing up. The single mother thing, the whatever it is that y'all want to call it, we all have a responsibility. And our responsibility is not to be on platforms just talking about it. Be about it.
I agree. I agree. I mean, me personally, I do a lot in my neighborhood, and I do a lot, for the young men who come into my business, and I talk directly to them face to face. Your average drug dealer from your average, maybe killer. I see them and I talk to them because I have to deal with them. And your average judge and your average lawyer. So I'm seeing so many different people, and I always kick the game in the knowledge in the
You
black
know,
movement. But
Let me look
but
if
hold
I
on,
could.
hold on, hold
Okay, yes, sir. Yes, sir.
the topic, and this is for everybody in the chat. I want to stay on ground. The topic of this video is 104 people shot, 14 fatally in Chiraq. So, and the defense of Mr. Ramos, that's what we were talking about. When I gave my intro to this whole thing, I was just going over the number of people who were shot in Chicago over the weekend, and how they were killed. You know what I mean? And who got killed. And that's kind of like what he was basing his stuff off of. So we all understand that black on black crime is the same as white on white crime, which is the same as Chinese on Chinese crime. So where you live in is where the people are going to probably, the people who are going to get killed, probably going to get killed by their own people. But
but when you look at Chicago on what it is that you were speaking on, we gotta still speak facts there. Chicago isn't a the problem don't start in the black neighborhoods. The problem starts the head at the is the officials that's there. They have mafia running it. They have crooked police. They have all kinds of crazy shit that we've been looking at the news. They spend millions and millions of dollars to catch whatever his damn gay name is because he said he had a rope around his neck. When they got all these crimes that they won't spend dollars on, they got kids being taken in that state at a crazy rate. So this is so Chicago isn't about black on black crime as much as it is to me seems like everybody got there. They're in a jungle, and it's the fittest of the survivors, or the survivors that's the fittest are who's there. And that's the whole
but
mentality of
what
the state.
but what's the result of, we know the issues. We can see the issues. We can see that those people aren't coming to save us. Those people are perpetuating violence and stuff in our community. But I mean, the reality is that we are in our neighborhoods killing each other. I mean, we got to keep it 100 and all the way real.
We got to keep it 100. We do have to keep it 100. And there, that's why I
Can
was saying that each one of us teach one. But
can
one
I
of
ask?
the things that we can also learn is stuff like the police don't, they have a protection order. The police doesn't get pulled up for what it is that they're doing wrong. These men, the police force are protected. They're just starting because of these riots, because of the most recent killings, are starting to ban the chokehold, or the Supreme Court has stepped in and allowing these people to be sued or taken to the next level. So things are happening. But what it is that we as a black people don't know is how the government works. The same
Can I?
system that
Can I?
everybody else learns, we are the least educated about it.
Can I ask you a question, sis?
Yes.
It's a very very simple one.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Now, as I stated earlier, if it ain't on tape, don't nobody care about it. See, we seen Mr. Floyd murdered. We saw it. Did nobody see that
Mm-hmm.
3-year old that was killed? I am more angry about that baby that was killed. Will you march with me? Will you march with me? Will you march with me the next time a brother gets killed in your city, in my city? Can we all come together and march about that? Yes, what happened to Mr. Floyd was wrong. It was dead wrong. But it was dead wrong because we saw it. But you didn't see the baby get killed. You didn't see the other 104 people that were shot get shot live the way we saw Mr. Floyd. And see, if we can come together like that about Mr. Floyd, which was an honorable thing to do. Why can't we come together about Pookie that's gonna get killed tonight? Why we can't
What
get come together about Tyrone that's gonna get killed tonight when he get off work and come home and some other brother robs and kill him? You understand? Are we gonna riot about that? Are we gonna
Dad,
march?
I can answer your question for me.
Yeah, yeah, go ahead.
I've been an advocate in DC for the last 7 years of my life, and I'm fighting for housing, the rights of black men, and single mothers with children. So yes, I do stand up there for my brothers and my sisters every day, all day. My life is dedicated to that. The better for our black people, us to have equality, us to have housing, education, and finances just like everyone else. We want the same opportunities. We got brothers out here that have done their work. We got brothers out here that have gotten their education, that are good fathers, that are good people, and they just don't want a job, just a break. And things aren't always when they get them applications on there. There's a lot going on that we can get into when you put John versus Jimmy application on the table, or when I have seen where money really works. I have worked in an environment where I have seen where white kids are working and know the congressman.
I get it.
And
But you didn't answer my question with all of that, and I appreciate the work that you do. But you didn't answer my question. Why are we going to march about that baby that got killed? Why are we going to march for Pookie? Why are we going to march for Tyrone? It's the mentality, is my point.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I am an advocate for it, so I do watch for them. I do. And part of my job is educating people about their rights and things that we can do to be a better society.
My question to the brother is, when are you gonna start the movement? Let's go right with what Swana just said. It's too much talking. When you want to start the movement, then to start marching for everybody that's getting killed in the hood, while we also marching for what the cops are doing. When do you want to start?
You know,
You want to
Malcolm
start it
X.
tonight? You want to start it tomorrow? No, 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 bro. No, bro. When do you want to start it? I don't want to
I'm
hear no more talk. Just like the
no,
sister,
no. I'm
like
about
the
to
sister
tell you,
said.
brother. I'm about to tell you. I got my vest. I got bullets galore. I believe in buying bullets. Okay, but more importantly, see, I'm down for the cause. That ain't even a question. At the end of the day, what Malcolm X said was, "I got my gun. Do you got yours?" You dig? That was something else that the Black Panther Party said. You dig? We are. I don't. I'm not talking about it just to be talking about it. I'm saying, as a man, am I willing to die for our children? Yes. Just like Black Truth went overseas and put his life on the line for this country, I am willing to put my life on the line for our children. That goes without saying. I'll do that right now, this minute, without a hesitation. So I'm with it. If you with it, let's get down. You dig?
Okay,
I'm with
okay.
that.
So when you want to start? You want to?
Uh,
How we gonna do it then to get it started?
No,
however you
what's
want.
the plan? I want to know what it is we marching for. Is this a thought out plan or are we just talking? What it
No,
is?
no. The brother made he put a challenge out there. I'm saying I'm about that for real,
This,
for real.
this is how it
Right,
starts.
but I'm
Look,
saying that you ready right now. What are you ready for right now?
Whatever this brother was laying out as far as being down for a cause, I'm with it.
But see,
He's
that's
the one that put it out there. I'm saying if it involves protecting our children and our women as a man, and protecting our children's future, I am prepared to die for that right now. That's my point. And we can go any direction you want to go with that. I'm for it. You lay it out, I'm with it.
well,
But
how about
if
this?
you're trying to gauge my dedication to what I say, I'm letting you
No,
know I'm
no,
for it.
that's not what I'm
Mhm.
asking. I'm asking exactly what Sis is asking. What else is the game plan? Like, how are we gonna start it? Do you have enough people behind you for us to even start this?
I think I belong to a couple of organizations, and I can say that. I know that you should belong to a gun club if you don't belong to one. There are a lot of militias across the country that are really about that, protecting the people. You might see them on occasion on the news, you dig? But what I'm trying to say is this, without being distracted. The fact of the matter is that the only time that we become activists and want to march is when we see something. To have foresight, and know that we, and what I was saying in Black Truth was that we as men have to go into our communities and we have to say enough is enough and
Right.
be prepared. Listen, and be prepared to die because it ain't gonna be nothing easy. It ain't gonna
But
be
you know
nothing
what?
easy.
But
Well,
you know what
hold on.
you
Let me say
do.
this. Mr. Wanda, hold on one second. I'm gonna say this. This is what I'm gonna do, y'all. I'm gonna drop my email in the chat, and I want all y'all to get it who's on this panel. And I'm gonna tag everyone inside of that email. And if y'all are serious about something, see, that's how we'll just get to the root of the problem. We'll get to it and we'll make it happen. If y'all are serious, then we can correspond with each other and try to come up with something. And maybe this is a spawn of a situation to where we can build on and make some stuff happen. You feel me? But go ahead, Mr. One.
Mm, Now I forgot because now you done took my mind somewhere else.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I mean, because
Okay,
I'm trying
Black Truth.
okay, be more. I'm sorry. Come on in, be more.
All right, nah, I just wanted to kind of give my opinion on what's going on in Chicago.
Yeah, please do, sir.
Um, it's a lot. I know in every city, at certain times, a lot over the weekend we had wild weekends when so many people be shot. But I think Chicago have a whole. They are living with a whole different set of politics because on every street corner, every block has its own gang. And it's so crazy that if you are kind of aware with it, they keep score of who killed who,
Right,
so it's like a game to them. And I understand a person that grew up in the street, the mother probably was on drugs, the father was locked up, they ain't had nobody, but the gang that take them in and they look as them as the family. But also those gangs are not teaching what need to be taught, about protecting the community. And
Right.
it's just different when we came up. Like when we came out of outdoors, and everybody probably can contest to this, that even the old heads that was out on the corners, if you was trying to do something, they'd kick you in your butt, give you a couple of dollars. You better go to school. But
Right.
in Chicago, they play by a whole different set of rules. And I don't want to bring up Larry Hoover because I really don't know too much on him, but I have been like doing my research on him and stuff like that. Like far as he had a lot of controls over the gangs, and when he got locked up, and him and Jeff Ford, when they got locked up, everybody he basically controlled them. So it was killings, but it wasn't that much killings. And by the leader gone, all those little gangs, they then broke up in their own little section. So, like
right,
I said, it's every neighborhood. Imagine you leaving out of your door and you when you go to another block, it's a whole nother gang and they beefing with the people that's right down the street. And instead of taking like like murdering, you know what I'm saying? Like if somebody hurt your family, your kids or something, then you might gotta do what you gotta do because at the same time, you gotta think about it. You can't go to the police because the police don't get nothing about you. Now it was just a story here in Baltimore that the guy witnessed a murder.
Okay.
Um, he lived next door to the lady, and he was tired of her son got killed, but his best friend kept coming around the mother saying, I'm sorry for you, mama. I'm going to help you. And he said he just got tired of it. So he told the lady, like, that is the one that killed your son. So they locked the dude up. He was a witness to it, right? But for whatever reason, they let the guy out. So when they released the guy, they didn't let him know by him thinking he doing the right thing because he felt sorry for the lady, and he saw the guy when he was going to the store. Now he had to move his whole family to another state. There's no trust in the police because they don't care about you. Even if you tried to help, like if you see something, that's why a lot of murders go unsolved because people see something, but they know that if they was to go to the police is going to throw them to the dogs, and it just
Right.
keep going on. So at the end of the day, they looking at it like, all right, this guy trying to kill me. The police is not going to help me. He going to make it worse. So I'm just going to defend myself. And all his friends is doing it. And like I said, in Chicago, if you just sit and watch this stuff, they really take score of who's killing, how many, how many done killed these many people on this block, how many killings they got, and it's like a game to them because they grew up and they have no guidance, no leader.
Let me ask you a
It's
question.
different politics. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? They playing with a different set of rules than the cities that we come from. You know what I'm
Let me,
saying?
let me ask you a question, B more. So is that a police thing or is that an us thing?
Really, because I feel as though the police then let us down so much that we feel as though that we gotta protect ourselves, and that's just how I look at it. Like the police let us down so much is you can't do that. You can't be a good Samaritan no more because they'll throw you to the wolves, and they did that a couple of times. You thinking you trying to help somebody out because you saw something, and then you go and tell them, and all they worrying about is the case, and the guy get off. They don't got the audacity to call you and tell you, look, the guy was released. You see the guy on the street, and the guy go ahead and knock your head off. And all you was trying to do was be a good Samaritan. So they look at it like they don't got no help from the police. So they just they gonna protect themselves. That's just my opinion of the whole situation.
Okay,
Like,
hold on 1 second. Anybody else on the panel want to deliberate on that?
No, I agree with him because I know Baltimore.
Okay.
Yeah, I agree with him also. If I can add this, again, I think he's actually right when it comes down to guidance.
sure.
And if you can have a gang of men on a corner, and if you come by and you give that same gang of men a baseball or a basketball, you got a basketball team or you got a baseball team. It's really
Right.
about what we allow them to be exposed to, and this
Right.
is why society says, "Well, go down here, join this, join that, keep your children active," because idle hands are the devil's workshop. That's a fact,
Right. Right. Right.
right? So we understand those society things, but I think going back to what the sister was saying, and what I challenge all brothers to do, my man that was up on the panel, I challenge us as men in the community. It's our job to go out here and be a father to the fatherless. It's our job to be the big brother, to be the big homie, to come in, because that's how I got saved. Somebody had to come and talk to me. You
Right.
dig?
Right.
And it takes a man. Mama can't do it. Mama can't do
Right.
it.
Right.
And when you come out here, I also have my own business. It's called Community Career Builders. All right. And what we do is we train young men. I train them. I train them to be truck drivers. It's
And I salute you on that.
yeah.
That's what I try to instill,
But
not to cut you off, but I try to instill in my son like you can make just as much as money doing a legal thing, doing a trade, something like that, than the risking your life in the street because the street life is not guaranteed. But if you go and get your CDLs or something or your dealer license, it's guaranteed. That's guaranteed. Like school, if you complete school, then you guaranteed to get a diploma.
well, we also when I go into the hoods, and I'm in Philadelphia, and I go
Right,
around I'm around the whole city. B-more ain't nothing but Philly. You dig?
right,
I know about
exactly,
B-more. I go down there. I know what it is. But
exactly.
let me tell you something, man. When I go out here and I talk to young brothers, I'm 54 years old. You can't
Right,
go out into these streets and tell these young boys stop selling drugs. I sold drugs. I
right,
ain't,
right,
I
right.
sold, drugs. I'm from the streets. I
It's
did
all
all of
about
that, and I
not
did it
what
on
you
a
say, but how
yeah.
you say it.
Exactly. But more importantly, you got to be able to offer them something. You can't go
Right,
into the streets of Chicago and say, stop selling drugs
right,
without offering them something in
right,
return. All right.
right,
Now, that is where politics comes into play. I get it.
right,
I understand. We need to have more jobs. We need to have more
right,
training available. I get
right,
all of that part of it. But then
right.
again, as a man,
Yes,
we got to stand up and say, all right, that's enough. That's
yes.
enough.
But
I agree.
can I say something?
Yeah, you sure
And I'm
can,
not
Mo.
Sure.
even a man, but I just want to give a little take on that. I think that what most of the ones that we need to reach, trying to reach them and tell them go get a job, they feel like they're making more money on the streets or they're not disciplined. So that kind of thing, I think that is jumping straight to step five before you done dealt with one to four. Let me get to
Right,
know you. Let you
right,
get to trust me. Let us build this relationship so you can
right,
trust my word, so you
right,
can depend on my knowledge to take you to
right,
the next step. Let me show
right,
you another way. Now that
right,
I got you looking at me and hearing me, and wanting to know how it is that I'm doing what I'm doing. Because I got to let
right.
you in my life to let you see that what I'm saying is working.
You're
I
right
got to
about that.
give him something to look up to. And I
You're
think that's
right.
what most people miss. And I think that's one of the gaps that are there that we say, yeah, there's training out there, there's this out there. But those trainings and stuff has been there. But a lot of
Well,
them don't know about it or they can't see that path and
I
how to
think
get on.
Can I add something to that, sis? See,
Uh-huh.
our problem is this, and I'm not being disrespectful. I just want to contrast what you're saying. All right.
Mm-hmm.
See, traditionally or culturally,
Mm-hmm.
we as men normally have what's called a rite of passage into manhood.
right,
Right.
All right, our young men in Africa and culturally, you would have to go kill a lion, damn it, before you could be considered a man, or you got to bring back a eagle's feather or something if you
right,
were an Indian in order to show that you were a man. Our children today are growing up as man child, right? So mama has one way, and this is what I preach on my channel is family because we got to
Mm-hmm.
provide our children with balance. Mama's gonna treat them one way. Mama's gonna give them a different type of love than daddy gonna give them.
right.
And
Mm-hmm.
when we dealing with grown men, mama love ain't gonna get it. It's gonna take
Yeah,
another man to stand up and say,
yeah,
"Listen, bro, you 28 years old. You on the wrong path. Now I
yeah,
need you to make some changes in your life, and we gonna have to obviously yes work with them. I do the same thing. I do everything that you said you do. I do all of these things, and I have the credibility because I used to run in them streets, and I'm not
yeah.
talking about no hand to hand, not no hand to
But,
hand work.
but,
I
but,
used to break down work, real work.
yeah,
You know,
exactly,
yeah.
exactly.
And
But,
and, and my name is dead. It used to bubble, but
right.
it's there because the it's two generations since I was out there. We talking about
But
30, 35 years ago. So
but
all I can get is a little bit of respect for, oh, that's the OG right there. I still got the motorcycle. I ride through the hood.
right, right,
Everybody think I'm still spending money from 88. I'm not.
right.
I got a business. What I want to do is show them how to take those skills that they have and
But you just
transfer it in, yeah, transfer it into something legit.
you
I
you
do that.
Okay.
you just said
Now,
it, and
but
just
this is
like
what
Miss Tawanda was saying, I think that it's not a lot of brothers and sisters like y'all that are willing to go in the hood. That's what I mean by guidance. It's not a lot of brothers and sisters like y'all to go in these hoods and talk to these young kids that's out there that's doing wrong and show them that it's another way. And a lot of people are selfish. I mean, I hate to say it like that. They just look at it,
Mhm.
well, it's not, it's, he's not my
Not
son,
me.
it's not
Right,
my problem
right,
until he does something to their family, and
right.
then they want
Right.
to be involved. But instead of just sitting and talking to your friend about what they need to be doing, then go out there, because basically all they looking for is guidance. All they looking for is somebody to show them how that they can do what they think they doing illegal, how they can do it legally.
Legally, I agree,
That's
bro.
all they looking for is guidance, and
That's
that's
real
what
talk.
is lacking right now. Like, we
Right.
don't have enough brothers like my brother that just was speaking, and Miss Tawanda. We don't have a lot of brothers and sisters like that that is willing, and they will listen. Because just like you said, when I go in the hood, and you know what I'm saying, they the little kids that was on the steps when I was out there. And the first thing they come, OG, what's up, OG? What you doing? And they see me and they always think I'm doing something, and I go ahead and tell them, man, I'm chilling. I'm with my family. You know what I'm saying? Or I'm riding around with my best friend with the tow truck. Man, I'm doing this now. I'm messing with the
Right.
cars. You can make much more money than doing this. Like, just save your little money and get you a car, and you don't have to be out there. I mean, out of five of
Mhm.
the, the youths that I speak to, probably only one gonna grasp what I say. You know what I'm saying? But
Right.
I can't be
Exactly.
out there every day telling them and trying to teach them. But it is a lot of brothers that just talk and talk, and that's what they need to be doing. You know, I know a lot of gang members. I mean, original OG
Right.
gang members that goes in the hood, and they go ahead and they tell them like, look, man, I was in the gang because we was oppressed and stuff like that. You know, I'm still active, but I'm not living that life no more, you know. And there's other ways to do things, and I wouldn't encourage y'all to get in no gangs right now, because I'm not in a gang, but I'm just saying what he was saying, that when we started the gangs, we only started it in prison because we was being oppressed, and we didn't know that it was going to spread like it spread, you know. It's
Right.
not
Right.
a lot of people that's willing to go in those hoods and talk to those kids. You know what I'm
And
saying?
see, and I'm
No,
even
you
talking about relationships so that you can know what their issue is. You know what I'm saying? There may
Yeah,
be a
you're
kid
right.
out there, they feel like they have no other choice because young boys now, as a single parent household, they want to step up and help their mom out. Or they see her crying with kids, so they want to bring more money in the house, or whatever the
Right.
case may be. We've been hungry, and my mother on drugs and my father on drugs, and I want to take care, help my sister and brother them out, or whatever their reason are. People got
Yeah.
different reasons, being, believe it or not, for being out there in the streets.
Yeah.
And a lot
You are
of it
so right.
goes unheard. And the only thing that we see is that tough exterior with that 45 in their hand. But
Yeah,
when you break them down and you can get to know them, a lot of times you will find that a lot of them people are hurting.
Yeah,
A lot of
yeah,
them people are fighting bigger
yes,
battles than you could imagine.
I agree.
yes.
Like,
You are so right.
I
can
And
definitely.
can
majority of those kids, not to cut you off, bro, but I just want to say this. Majority of those kids, like you say, a lot of them was brought up, their mother wasn't there, the father wasn't there, so they had to fend for themselves. Then you gotta think about the ones that the mother was going to work,
Mm-hmm.
had to go to work 1 or 2 jobs to make sure
Yep.
that her kid had what he had, and peer pressure. He just wanted to be out there with them and got caught up. You know what I'm
Yep.
saying?
Yep.
Because they didn't have a mentor. Like my little sister, she got my nephew a mentor. Like this guy, like he was a white guy. I'm not prejudiced, and he's so cool. He come get my little nephew, take my nephew wherever he wanted to go swimming, because we got a little swimming pool called Chick Webs, and it's located like right across the street from where the
Mm-hmm.
projects is tore down now. But he even went down there, like with him,
Yep.
take them to the library, take them out to the mall. They ride out Leesburg, Virginia,
Exactly.
just take ride, just to take his
And
mind off of, you know what I'm saying, so he
and what
won't fall for peer pressure.
exactly, and what that boy, what that young man see in return is that this is what it is that I could possibly want to be when I grow up.
well,
This man
this
is
this
he's
is
able to take me to the store. He dressed nice. He's real kind. I like the car he's in. He done gave him this little boy a whole nother image.
well,
Right,
You
this is what I was. This is exactly what I was saying about men being more involved, because and I'm not gonna be long at all, but I just want to get this out. The mentoring thing starts with men. 72. Listen to me, sisters. 72% of our children are born to single mothers. Marriage is gone.
right,
It damn near don't exist anymore.
right,
Okay?
right,
So there's no balance in the home. Let's
right,
keep it 100. All right?
right.
Now, for those children that are growing up without balance in their home, it's for the men to step up and mentor. I will personally say I didn't become a man until I was 32 years old.
Right,
32.
right.
And that is only when I became a Mason. When I joined the Masonic Order, I belonged to something. We all want to feel like we belong to something, even as a child.
And that's what it is, and
You dig?
that's
So
why they
when I
call them games.
right, so we all have to be mentored. Even at this age, I still listen to my elders. I have people in their 60s and 70s that I sit down at their feet and I pay attention to what they're saying, because you can't Google what they're telling you. They've lived.
Exactly.
They've seen the riots before. They've seen everything that's going on.
Exactly.
This riot is no different than the one that happened in 92. It's no
Exactly.
different than the one that happened in 68. And the question
Right.
is, what are we going to do different to get a better result? And
Right.
what I say to the brother and anybody out there is that we as men have to step up and be the men that we should be, not just for our children, but for all children. That is my solution. Now, of course, we want to be able to offer them something. Yes, we want to be able to give them some insight, but you're going to have to be ready also as a man to
Right.
get your hands dirty,
Right.
because there's a lot of them out there that are broken, that are unfixable. You can't
Right.
keep, we ain't got another 30 years, another
Exactly.
28 years to figure this out. We
Exactly.
can't keep talking about it. At a
Exactly.
certain point, you gotta act on some of these things. And
Yes.
I believe in voting. I believe in all of the I understand all of that. But at some point, we as men have to step up and say that's enough. And once that gets out there, now we start to see effective change. The women should not be leading the way. The
No,
men
Right.
should be leading the way.
right.
Right.
When you look at the Black Panther Party, the women were there. They actually are the ones that started the WIC program. You were there. You were always there in
Right.
the scenes behind it, mobilizing and organizing, and we rely on you. But
Right.
at this stage of the game, it's about men
Yeah.
standing up and showing our little brothers how to be men.
Hey, so
Yeah.
grown folks, I have a question. So, and this is to you too, be more. As the men, where do we go wrong? Where do we go wrong? And how do we get our mind right and together to properly lead these guys when we need to find a common ground within each other? And once we find
Yeah.
our common ground as men, now we can go ahead and get our kids in line. Can y'all speak on that?
It happened, brother. Historically, it happened during the late 70s and the early 80s and all of that. We can go into another time, but the destruction of the family is the
How
my
do we
core
fix
thing.
it? How do we fix it?
Yeah, how do by standing up and being men and saying it's cool to be married. It's cool to be a dad. It's
Yeah.
cool to be responsible. It's cool.
Yeah.
See, it's cool. See, it's cool to be a player. It's
Yeah.
cool to talk about your diamonds and your rolls and how much
Yeah.
money you got. See, that's cool.
But it
But
blows
saying
in the wind.
right, but we got to make it cool to say it's cool that I got a job. It's cool that I'm responsible. It's cool that I love one woman and I take care of these children I made with her.
Exactly. It's
We got to
nothing.
change the definition.
Exactly. There's nothing wrong with that, and that's every chance I get when I always talk to my little youngins. I go through and I see them, and they be like, "Hey, man, I listen to what you said, man. Like, I just be like with my mother because I explain to them. I say, man, sometimes like you won't realize the damage you've done until you up in the mountains and you got 50 or 60 years. You got to think before you get in that situation. You know what I'm saying? When you do something, you need to think A to Z. And family is always first. I
Right,
understand that you might have to do what you have to do. All right, everybody comes a time with that you gotta do what you gotta do. But being a man don't mean that you standing out there selling what you selling, putting money in your pockets. I mean, if your kid's starving, then being a man is go and get a job at McDonald's and putting food on the table.
but
You
be
know?
more. Let me ask you a question. Be more. So, is it suffice to say though that we have these outside forces that are subliminally influencing our kids to go and get the credit card scams and get this fast money and go
Yeah,
sell that book
yeah,
real quick?
yeah. You right, Black
I
Truth.
think we need to
And this
tackle.
and this
That's what we
and
need
this
to
is
tackle. That's
and
what we
this
need
is
to try
and
to
this
tackle.
is the thing. And somebody told me this a long time ago, right? They say they when they trying to get those kids to do something illegal or bad, they're like you said, everything that glitters not gold. They
Fact,
see the cars
fact.
and
The
they see the
jewelry,
jewelry, and you
the
always got
women,
money, and you always
right,
got a nice looking woman with you, but they don't tell them the other side
right.
about uh the stick up boys gonna come for you. You
Mm.
know, you might get kidnapped. You know what I'm saying?
You
Or
might
you
lose
you
20 to
might get
life.
caught and you ain't got no choice but to go ahead and take your office 30 years to life, and you gotta take that 30 years to life. Or you might be out there, get robbed, and they kill you. They don't tell them the other side. They only
Right.
tell them, you know what I'm saying? They don't tell them the whole story. They just tell them half of the story. And
I
I
agree.
think if you just go ahead and tell them the whole story, then most of them will back up because they don't really want that pressure. That's why when they get into it and stuff like that happen, then it'd be another murder statistic. You know what I'm saying? Because ain't nobody tell them that, oh, somebody out there, that's what they do. That's their hustle. The same way you come on this corner every day, you got somebody that all they do is watch you, follow you to take your kids to daycare, and then they snatch you. Like it was a kid here. They kidnapped them. They wanted 20,000. He called this girl, told this girl to bring the money. It's a mall down here called East Point Mall. He told her, look, I'm at East Point Mall. Bring the money, leave the money in your car, and leave the door unlocked, right? And come in. I'm at the Great Cookie. She did exactly that. When she went in the mall, they took the money. It supposed to have been 20,000, but it was only like it was 3,500 short. So I guess they were saying it like they got mad it wasn't there, and they killed the guy. You know what I'm saying? They killed him, and they'll kill you for something that you got. I mean, I'm a living testimony to that. But if you sit there and tell a kid, you tell them, look, it's all right. You might get the cars and you might get the money, the jewelry, and the girls and stuff. But if the feds get on you or you get robbed, and everybody, when they rob you, they don't just take what you got and leave you. It's a lot of them that when they get what they want, they go ahead and kill you. Like, I think if you tell them the whole story, the half of them wouldn't be out there. They not being told the whole story, the
No, I
other
agree.
Mel,
side of it.
I agree. Go
yeah.
ahead. Go ahead.
Can I say something?
Yes,
Melanated
sir.
agenda. I actually talked about that component before you came into the room. Okay, I definitely touched on that, and if you rewatch his show, I definitely addressed it from
Right,
where you're coming from. Okay, so
right,
I agree with you 100%. Melanated agenda. I guess the thing that I'm trying to say is we all understand what the issues are. We understand that there's going to be different solutions, but the point
right.
is this: we're at a point right now where we need to do something as
Exactly,
brothers, as men. We need to
exactly.
come together as men and make some change as the men in our communities. Um, if we cannot change things, then all we're doing is kicking the can down the road on our children. See,
Exactly.
we don't plan 10 years out as a people, as a group. We don't
Right,
plan 10 years out. We plan for the weekend. Other
right.
people are planning for second and third generations ahead. They're
Yes,
looking at your
well,
property. They're
yes,
looking at everything around you, and they're planning, well, this property may not be worth something today, but we understand that in 10 years they're going to build a football stadium here. And
yeah,
so let me go ahead on and buy this property now. We don't look ahead the way that we do. And guess what? As long as we're killing each other, as long as we are distracted, we're never going to make any progress if we're arguing about what the solutions are. And at this stage of the game, I propose that we remove the problems. Now, if you want to go back in the time, that is what the FOI did. That is what the Black Panther Party did. The
right,
first thing that they
right,
did was they came in and they cleaned up the streets.
right.
And
If
so
you was
that,
selling drugs,
right, you had to go.
they
You had
took
to go.
and they took your drugs
Exactly.
and
Exactly.
they
You got to
dumped
go.
it in the street.
Right.
Yeah,
You got to go.
you
You
can't
got to
do that
go.
And,
right
and,
now.
and, and, and you know what? And that is true. And I agree. And I looked at this movie on Netflix called The 13th, and it really goes over a lot of that stuff. And even with that, and talking about the Pink Panthers and what they did and how they went about it, is
The
more
Black
importantly
Panthers,
is understanding what
right,
took them down. Those things need to be changed because you'll only be able to go so far if we get to talking past helping a couple of people in your community. If
Right.
right,
it's something that will eventually turn into a movement, there are laws and groups of rich people there to stop us dead in our tracks.
exactly, Mr.
And
Wanda.
that's what I
And I
was
was
talking about
thinking the
earlier.
exact same thing because you
Yeah.
got to think about it. When Malcolm X and they saw how much power that he had, even though he might have had that little conflict with Elijah Muhammad. Elijah Muhammad. He had that little conflict with him, but the government was watching him. And like Malcolm X too, once they see that you got a lot of power, that you can move people, then you become a target. And it's like the system is designed to work against
Mm-hmm.
us. No matter how
Absolutely.
much we try to come together and do something, if it we could all come together and do something, then our biggest enemy will be the government.
And that's
And
where
that's
I
a
said,
shame.
until we learn the laws, learn what is actually going in our community and what it is we supposed to be voting and fighting for to
Right,
change that stuff while we're on the ground messing, mentoring our kids at the same time,
right.
one without the other is not going to work.
You
And
know
Exactly.
it
what?
only gonna get you so far.
That takes a generation. That process. Let's keep it 100. That process of voting and changing laws and all of that stuff. I understand that process, but that takes a generation. That's
But you
not
spoke
something.
about the Chinese and the Japanese and all
No,
the
no,
other communities who stand
no.
together.
I
That's
no. I'm
how they
talking
stand
about
together. But
no.
that's how they stand together.
No, I think we blurring the lines. When we talk about having effective change, and you're talking about politics, we're talking about a generation before there will be any due effects. And then that's going to be a seesaw ride. We already see that in politics now. You get a good president, you get a bad president. You get a good
Right,
mayor, you get a bad mayor.
right,
I ain't got
right,
time. We ain't got time to play the seesaw game.
right,
Okay,
right,
now that's
right,
as far as
right,
politics. That's politics.
right,
I get it. I get
right,
that part. But what I'm talking about is the family structure, the way
yeah,
that we look at ourselves.
yeah,
That part right there, we can
yeah,
do immediately. We
yeah.
can change that paradigm now. We don't
We
have to
need
wait two
we
generations
need we
before we can look at ourselves as self worth and teach our daughters and other little girls how to be classy with it. We don't
yeah.
And
have to wait. We don't have to wait for that. We don't have to vote for that. That's not a
women,
politics thing. When it comes
what
to
it is that I
unity,
said, so that you can understand what I said. I said that we need to be both doing both simultaneously.
Hey, Twan, you going out a little bit.
Oh, I'm sorry.
You good
I
now?
said we should be doing both simultaneously. And we
Exactly,
can
Mr.
work for
Wanda.
our family
Exact.
and learn how to make changes so those same kids that we want to have a better life can have it.
I
I
agree
get
with
it.
you.
I get it. I get it. I get
I'm
it.
a
I
true
think that
I'm a
what
tell
my main thing is this, bro, is that if we don't fix our families, and I'm gonna pull off because this is the answer. If we don't fix our families and that whole paradigm, man, woman, and child, we ain't never gonna have no unity. We ain't never gonna get nothing done. When
yeah,
72% of our children are born, 72% of our children are born to single mothers. That means you're not married when you have child. That has changed over the last 50 years.
yeah.
It used to be like 12%. To be a single mom was like out. That was like a rare thing. Now it's normal. I don't need a man. Yes, you do, because you're raising our sons without a dad.
And
You understand?
Let me
So
much
we can
that a
change.
mother can teach a
We
child.
can we can change our culture, our unity, by working on ourselves as men and women first. That's how you listen. Your family, my family, his family, that's a community. But if my
yeah.
family is broken and your family is broken and my neighbor's family is broken, then we got a excuse my friends, but we got a effed up community. Bottom line. And
Yeah, we
that's what you
did.
got going on in Chicago. That's what you got going on in Chicago. You got a bunch of broken families all
Right,
huddled up in a pack, in a
right,
pile, and they killing each other.
right.
Now, I say let's get back on to the point. I say, yes, I am hurt about Mr. Floyd. But I'm hurt about the baby that died this past weekend. I
Right.
say let's raise hell about that baby the same way. And there is
Yeah.
no difference in a life for a life. Each of them
Yeah.
are just as precious. But that baby was our future. That baby. That
Right.
baby was our
Right.
future. And somebody killed a
Right.
part of our damn future. And we should be outraged by that as a
Yeah.
people. We should be outraged if we killed a Korean baby. If a Korean baby was killed, if an Indian baby was killed, if a South African baby was killed, they would be raising hell
Yeah.
about that baby, just
Yeah.
like we did for Mr. Floyd. Now that's
Exactly.
what I'm saying. We can't have selective outrage.
Right.
You got to stay mad and be
Exactly.
mad
That's
about
it.
the things that matter. You can't turn it on and turn it off. If you turn it on and turn it off, it ain't real.
It ain't real.
Nah,
It ain't
nah,
real.
I agree.
nah.
I agree with
I
you
damn
Either,
sure
either
agree with
100%.
you
that.
are or you not.
Damn,
It's
Yeah.
as
definitely
simple
And
as
that's
that.
it. Hey, brother, I appreciate your time up here, and I appreciate you all having this conversation with me. I got to back out, but
Oh, you always
I hope you
welcome, bro.
understand. Yeah, man, I appreciate your channel, man. It feels like home, and I appreciate you all and everything that y'all contribute over here because
Always.
these are
Really appreciate the
conversations.
conversation.
Yes, sir. These are conversations that we need to have. These
Yes.
are the conversations, not the backbiting and bickering and lying and cheating. We need to be talking because guess who's looking? Our babies are watching us.
Oh,
Yeah, they
definitely.
Our
watching.
babies are looking at us.
And
You
they
dig?
gonna mimic
And if we
us.
can be,
And they gonna
yeah, if
mimic
we
us.
can, yes, we should be better examples. And that's real talk. So thank you all. I love you all. Peace, power, and prosperity to everybody. Peace.
Hey,
Always.
Thank
thanks for
you.
coming up, bro.
Always.
Thank
Very
you.
intelligent.
Yeah, very, very intelligent, man. This has been a great live, man. But you know, when I look at it, I'm sitting back listening and I'm absorbing the stuff that all you guys were talking about. And we all are talking about the same thing. We're
Yeah.
talking about the
Yeah.
same things.
I mean,
But
I just that's just how I see things. It's just not like God, and it's like I understand times change and stuff like that from when we was growing up. Like I said, like I used to I tried my best to be down with the D boys around my way. I even gave myself a job, boy. I was out there working. They was like, he with you? I'm like, yeah. He like, man, his little ass don't work with me. You better take your ass in the house before I go tell Miss Cater. And I was like, all right. They like, look, this was my job. I used to, cause they used to have the little mongooses and the little expensive bikes and stuff. So when they leave, they give me the bikes. Or if you get a flat, here, go fix the flat. Here go $10 for you. But stay away from us. Don't come around. Now it's not that they instead of pushing them away, they trying to pull them under their wing to get them to do their dirty work. And I look at it and I say, I was just talking to my girl and I told her, I said, I can't understand how a man can have a child out here and put his trust in another man to raise his child right. I said, I
Right.
can't understand that. Knowing that that man been in the streets and know how people are. Like, I don't understand how you can just abandon your child and then trust somebody else to raise that child. You supposed to be there and make sure that child don't make the same mistakes you made, do what they supposed to do. Don't get tricked out here. I don't trust nobody to raise my child. And I got two boys and a girl. And they call me all the time. They want to know something about anything. They call me. I tell them that I was just checking up on you. And I just tell them how it is. Like, look, man, stack the deck up
hey, Black Truth, I'm sorry,
in
y'all.
Uh-huh.
your
Give me a
favor.
second. I gotta step down real quick. Okay.
Oh, definitely. Hey, thank you
All
for
right.
coming up, Mr. One, okay?
All right. Uh-huh.
I really appreciate it.
Yeah, and Black Truth, and that's just how I just look at things. I think like we should teach. Well, my opinion, how I teach my child is stack the deck in your favor because it's hard out there, and you're gonna need a trade, and you and the way the racism and stuff going, you not gonna want to work for nobody your whole life.
Right.
Do something that will benefit you, that down the road you can use that trade to start your own business. You
Right.
know?
Facts. That's right. Because at the end of the day, we gotta save ourselves, man. You know what I mean? We can't look to them for the answers. Not our oppressors. The people who are
Yeah,
oppressing us, they're not gonna give us a hand up. They're gonna keep
yeah,
their foot on our
exactly.
neck. So we gotta
Because
we
the
gotta
system,
figure it out.
Black Truth, have you noticed that it used to be three class? It used to be the lower class, the
Middle
poor,
class,
the middle
right.
class, and the upper class. Now
There's no
all it
middle class.
is the poor and the upper class. The lower
Right.
class is no more middle class no more.
And that's by
And
design.
yeah,
That's by design.
the rich stay richer, and they want the poor to stay poor.
Exactly.
I mean, it's harsh, but it's the truth, and that's how I feel. We need to tell those kids the truth instead of telling them, and because they the same kids that watch. They was on the porch riding their big wheels when we used to be in the street doing what we was doing. So of course they gonna look up to us the same way when we was young and we idolized the drug dealers for having all the jewelry and the cars and stuff like that. So we gotta tell them. And every time I go around and I see them out there, I always preach to them and I tell them about family. Man, your family, how your mother doing? You know what I'm saying? Like always, remember this: no matter who out here with you, who you call your road dog, when you get into something, your mother, she the only one gonna
She's the
be
only
there.
one. She's the only one
The
gonna be there.
only one gonna be there. And you
Right.
need to learn that now before you get in trouble and have to find out the hard way. She
But
gonna love you unconditionally, but
but
just
before
respect them.
it's amazing though because I mean it seems like all young men have to go and get spanked on the butt to goddamn realize that shit. It's crazy. And it shouldn't have to be that way, but it's just something in us that we gotta go test the fire, bro. We gotta go see if that motherfucker hot.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
sometimes it's no coming back from it. You know what I'm saying?
yeah. And that's what I said. Like everybody, and I feel as though I'm blessed. Everybody don't get a second chance. You know
That's
what I'm
true.
saying? And Black Truth, I don't know if you heard my story when I was on talking to Straight Drop, but it was one thing I didn't say. That when whatever happened to me when I got shot, right? And I it dawned on me that you know what I'm saying, like damn, they got me. I'm down bad. You know, everything running through my mind, like don't nobody know where I'm at. I can't get up off the ground. I can't feel my legs. And I just prayed. But what one thing I prayed for, and at that time, my youngest son, he was 3 years old. I said, God, please don't let me die because my son needs me. Please don't let my son grow up without me. You know what I'm saying? I mean,
Right.
honest to God, that's what I prayed for. Please don't let me die because my son needs me.
Yes.
Please don't let him grow up without me. You know? So
Right.
I make it my business to tell him because he saw a lot growing up with the things I did and money. You know, I used to count money and he'd climb on the bed and he'd knock the stacks all over and stuff playing the money. We took a picture of it and stuff like that. And I sit there and tell him, I said, yeah, I said that's cool, but you can make just as much money doing this. Go ahead, get you a trade. You know, finish school. You're not gonna go nowhere. Why? If you drop out of school, right? I had to break it down to him. I said it's a list, right? Like a chart that when you apply for a job and they always ask you, have you graduated high school? Do you have a diploma? If you say no,
It's
then
all
they can start you below what you supposed to
pay
get.
raise. Right, of
But
course.
if your homeboy applying for the same job and he didn't graduate, he got his diploma, they gonna give him what he's supposed to get. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Your
And that's how the
negotiation skills
system is
go up better
designed.
when you complete the task.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like when you and I teach them, I say when you finish school, you go to school, your diploma is guaranteed for you. He go down Frostburg, he took 1 semester, and then he took another semester off. Be like, Dad, I gotta go ahead and I'm gonna get my CDLs or something and build me up some money, and I'm just gonna go to community college down here. And I said, yeah, I said you need to go ahead and do something like finish school because that'll help you. And it's getting hard out here. They don't want to give us nothing as it is. But if you stack the deck in your favor, they have no choice but to give you what you deserve. You understand?
Facts. They have
Use
no
your
other
time.
choice because
Yeah,
that's the guideline that they set. You know,
yeah,
that's why when you look at welfare and stuff like that, it's like they
right.
want us to be on welfare. They want to put us in the system because now we don't compete for those jobs. Our kids don't compete. All the
Yeah,
competitiveness is out of it. It's all about just taking this money, taking this situation and just getting out of the way so that their kids can now come in and have an easy road,
yeah.
to the good
And, and
jobs, stuff
and
like
they
that.
don't and they don't understand, right? And I was talking to my best friend, and I said, man, I said, look, like far as the projects in every state and city like that, that is a that was an experiment that they did, right? For
Mhm.
somebody to this was their initial plans. You go there, you rent low, so you
Right,
can go ahead and save your money and go
right,
ahead and get a house. But
right.
people
They
got
got stuck.
sidetracked
They got stuck.
and
Right.
yeah, they got messed up. But at the same token, right, you got Mexicans. It was just on the news probably like 9 months ago. A white lady was on there complaining about the Mexicans and stuff, and the where she lived at, the cheapest house was 275,000. Now you got 7, 8, 9 Mexicans in that house. Everybody going to work to
Right.
pay them bills and do what they
Right.
gotta do. And then
Right.
if you look, somebody down the projects where the rent ain't nothing but $80, probably got 7 or 8 people living in there. And they can do the same thing the Mexicans can do, but they just not getting it. You know what I'm saying? They
Facts.
don't have nobody to tell them like you can do better. Now I always preach to my son, never get comfortable.
Never get
Whatever you
complacent.
getting, if you got
Right.
$100,000 in the bank, don't get
Strive for
comfortable.
150. Strive for
Yeah, they
200.
never stop printing money and they
Right.
never stop building homes.
Right.
Never get comfortable with that and always set goals. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? That's
That's
the
the key.
main thing.
See,
Where you
that's the
want to,
key, man. Setting
yeah, where you
goals,
see
setting
yourself at in five
short
years.
term, right, long term goals. Man, they work. I
Yeah,
promise they work.
yeah, you set goals, and once you achieve that goal, then you set some more goals. It's the
Right.
same way, like I used to tell them. I said, man, the same way as if you want a pair of tennis, and you might get them pair of tennis, or you do what you gotta do. You know what I'm saying? Get money from me, get money from your mother to get them tennis. I said, you can go ahead and get a house the same way. If
Right.
you use the same strategy,
Same
you
strategy.
just gotta
Same
set
method.
goals. It's
Right,
easy,
right,
just like
right.
that.
It's a
You know what I'm
mindset.
saying?
Like you said, bro, it's a mindset, man. It's a
Yeah,
mindset. See,
it's a
the crazy
mindset.
part about it, man, a lot of our youth, man, they don't feel that they can attain that stuff. Like, it's not me. I can't do it. You know what I mean? But lo and behold, they can. They just feel
Yeah,
like they
but
can't.
a lot of them been misguided, and
And that's what I'm
they
saying. Right,
want it's like a person want to have a child, but they don't want to go through the labor pains. You
right,
understand what I'm saying?
right. They just wanted to be here.
Yeah, you just wanted to be here, right? But like again, I don't want to keep bringing it up. Like I teach my sons and my daughters that when you work for something and you attain it, you appreciate it more. You
Right,
know what I'm saying?
right,
You really appreciate that more because you got up every day to go to work and you sacrifice because you never going to get nothing. And like
right.
I tell them, you ain't gonna get no money. Like all the money you saw that I might have had and all the cars and trucks and stuff like that, you're not gonna get rich unless you learn to sacrifice. And that means you gonna have to say, no, I'm not, I'm gonna have to cut going to the club out, I'm gonna have to cut not getting this, you know what I'm saying? And put your money up and save your money. If you put, like I teach them, if you put $25 up every time you get paid and just don't touch that, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
And within a year, you'll see that you got a couple dollars.
Well, let me show you something, B more. Oh, let me show you something. This is what I was trying to say earlier. See, the things that's happening in our kids' lives that we don't pay attention to and we're not seeing, it's all these influences, bro. Let me tell you why I say that. The TV is showing all these J's. The music is playing all this murder, murder, death, death, kill, kill. We got to figure out a way to take those influences out of our kids' lives, man. So when we build them up, we can put positive messages in them, and that'll stick longer. Because right now, the negative messages are taking over, bro. It's taking their minds over, bro. And as much as positives we trying to kick in, as soon as that negative come back in, they are floating towards that because that's what their friends are doing. You kind of see what I'm saying?
Peer pressure is something, and what you said is absolutely right. Because when I came out the hospital, I was listening to my music and stuff. I can't remember. I think Yo Gotti first came out, or I might have been listening to Tupac Machiavelli. And my mother came in the room, and she was like, she cut it off. She was like, "You don't need to be listening to music like that." You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because it'll influence you. It you know what I'm saying? You get to singing the lyrics and
Unknowingly,
stuff.
unwillingly, your mind is gonna absorb this stuff, man. It's a brainwash.
But it's only entertainment, and
It's
that's what they
only
don't understand.
that's the key. You said it right there, bro. They don't know how to differentiate between entertainment and real life. They don't understand that a lot of these rappers are renting cars and renting houses,
or leasing,
or leasing them. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They only see what they see, and they want what they see, and they'll do anything to get what they see. Not understanding that there are big consequences that's gonna come with that if you do it the wrong way.
Because there's nobody there to tell them all money is not good money.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? And if you stuck in your neighborhood around your friends, you'll never get to the point that you'll be able to sit at a table with a person that got money that want to invest in you because you haven't learned how to talk to them.
Right.
They don't
know
want to
the
hear all
value
that
of money.
street slang and all that. You got to know how to be able to be in any circle and conversate with a person. You leave that street stuff in the street with them.
The biggest thing is we gotta learn how to sell ourselves. We have to learn how to sell ourselves to the people that we're dealing with. Show them that we're competent, show them that we know what's going on. And once they buy into the thought, then they're gonna buy into you as a whole. You know,
but like Mr. Wanda said and the other brother, these kids are broken.
They are broken.
They don't have confidence in their self. You know what I'm saying?
Let me ask you a question. If the kids are broken, then what are we as the adults?
I mean, all of us is not in the same boat. Like I explained to my brother man that was just on here. We need a lot of brothers just like him that can go and taking what Mr. Wanda said too, get to talk to these kids because a lot of them don't have nobody to talk to. And all they want is somebody to talk to. You know what I'm saying? To understand their pain and why they out there doing what they doing and stuff like that. And like she said, that if you talk to a lot of them and you can understand where they coming from, then you earn their trust, and then they'll go ahead and trust you and adapt to what you doing or what you want to show them. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But if you don't build that trust in them, then they're gonna be just like, man, I'm not trying to
I'm
hear
not
that
listening
shit.
to him.
You
Right.
know what I'm
Right.
saying? I'm
But
not trying
again,
to hear that
if
shit.
you look at our
I'm gonna
kids,
stay out here and get this money.
right. But I'm saying if you look at our kids, like what stressors have they actually really been in? You know what I'm saying? What I mean, if
Yeah,
anything, we've been through the stress as the adults. We've had to be oppressed as the adults. And I understand the kid's mind is a kid's mind and they go through things, as
exactly.
but at the
Exactly.
same time, I still think, and I'm gonna keep banging on this, man. It's the influences that we let our kids subject themselves to, man. If we
Yeah.
continue to let our kids listen to this rap music, especially the gun, gun, bang, bang, kill, kill, and have
Yeah.
a role model of a street drug dude versus a doctor, a black doctor. Like here at Morehouse, it's an all male school.
Right.
Dude, they graduate 100, 200 black men in medicine every year. You never see
Right.
that anywhere. But
Right.
like this post I put up, you'll see 104 shot, 14 fatal in Chiraq. You'll see that all over the news.
Yeah.
That, that's what
It's
I'm
just
saying. That's perpetuating that
it's
and put
just
it in their heads, bro.
it's just like I said, like they are living by a different set of politics than us. And outside looking in, a lot of people might not understand it. But you gotta understand their lineage. Because Chicago, it was basically, like I said, a gang, but it was organized. And at the Jeff Fort and Larry Hoover, and the reason they keeping that man, my opinion only, and it's a couple of other opinions, they keeping that man and they railroaded that man like that, it because he had too much power.
Oh, of
When
course.
it came time to vote, he had the whole city voting for who he wanted them to vote for.
Fact.
Once they saw how much power that man had, they railroaded to
They had
him.
to move him out of the way. Just like all of our
Yes,
leaders, like you said, Malcolm X,
Malcolm X
Martin,
and Martin Luther King, they
of course,
saw that it was two different personalities. Martin Luther King, he had
with a knife,
turned the cheek
yeah, turn the cheek,
doing the
docile.
peaceful march, and it picked up steam. They
It
at
is.
first they wasn't worrying about it. Oh, that's just a nigger. Uh, ain't nothing gonna happen. But they kept an eye on it, and
Right,
it spread like wildfire. And they didn't expect that, so
right.
they had to stop it because they know if we unite, if we come together and unite,
It's
that
over
they
with.
cannot. Yeah, it's over with. You got
Over with.
a lot of people like don't really understand. And a couple years ago, I really um learned about Black Wall Street, and the Gap Band is named after those streets that Black Wall Street was on.
Oh, that's a
That
fun
is
fact.
that,
I never knew that.
yeah, the Gap Band. Look it up. I can't remember the streets, but the street names. That's why they are named the Gap Band. And when they made that song, "You Dropped the Bomb on Me," that's what they was
Yeah.
talking about.
Okay.
And
I
at
never
that
knew that either.
time,
But it makes sense.
blacks owned 75%. They had their own bus companies, their own
Schools,
banks.
schools,
Yeah, and back
libraries.
then, if you sat and thought about it, it took 2 weeks for a a black a, for a person, one of us to go in a store and spend $1. It took 2 weeks for that dollar to leave the neighborhood.
Circulate. Right.
Now, when you go to a store, it's a Korean store. You know what I'm saying? They straight send the money home. You
Right.
know, they saw that we was too powerful. Just
Right.
think about it.
Too
How
fast.
can a man Commodore airplane and drop sticks of dynamite on people without the help of the government? Just sit and think
What?
about it.
You already know. You know what it is.
Yeah, it's like it's the odds are stacked up against us.
Yes.
And I think that's what we need to teach these kids, right? It's stacked up against us. They steady building prisons. Prisons is $1 billion business. It's nothing but a business. Free labor.
Free
So
labor.
don't sit out here and say
The
you
new
can't
slavery.
work at Wendy's or you can't do this, because you go ahead and bust that gun and get 20 years, you're gonna be working for 85 cents a day.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? So why be forced to do that when you can just man up? Like I said, a man, calling yourself a man and a hustler ain't just being on the corner selling rocks or doing this. A
Being
man
responsible,
is a
man.
person that'll go
Responsibility.
ahead and sweep floors, clean toilets just to put food on his table.
Real
You know
talk.
what I'm saying?
Real talk. I never forget it, man. Let me explain this to you. Now, I'm gonna hop off after this, bro. We had a great live, but I never forget it, man. As a young man, my father, he would come in, especially on the weekends, because he worked hard during the week, and I watched him work really hard. Get up
Right.
5 a.m., come in, 7, 8 p.m. But he used to wake me and my brother up, man. I never forget it, and I tell everybody this story. He used to wake us up like 1, 2, 3 in the morning when he come home from partying, on a Friday. He'll
Right.
wake us up. He'll sit us at the table. And his first word to us would be, life is about responsibility.
Yeah.
And that has stuck with me. I was a toddler, man. That has stuck with me all my life, man. And I live my
Yeah.
life by that creed. Dude, life is all about responsibilities. If you make
Yes, it is.
you make a life, you take care of that life. If you
Right.
give your word that you're gonna do something, you do it. If you
That's
put
all
yourself
you
in a
have
situation,
if you is your word.
give your word. So it's all about responsibility, man. Being responsible for what
Yeah.
you do, what you create. And even if you make a mistake, be responsible enough to say, you know what, I messed up.
I
Let me
made a
get it right.
mistake. That's all part of being a man,
Fact,
or how they say keeping it real. I mean, I talk to my homeboy every day. Like, you might not be right all the time, but that don't mean that you
you
wrong
wrong
all
all
the
the time.
time either.
Real talk. That's real,
But
bro.
when you
Real.
do something and you realize you did something, it
Correct.
don't takes nothing just
Right.
to say I messed up,
My bad.
my bad, I apologize, or however you go about that situation. But it's just like you taking responsibilities for your actions.
Facts.
That's all it
Real
is.
talk.
They need to learn to take responsibilities for your actions. And how can you go to somebody with an idea, want to start a business, and you don't have confidence and
And
believe in yourself? How
fact.
you think somebody else going? How you expect somebody else
To
that
believe
believe
in you
in
more
you
than you
or
believe.
had confidence in you if you ain't got confidence in yourself?
Facts. That's real talk. That's real
Yes.
talk, brother. And that's it. But you know what, B more? I'm gonna leave it on that note, bro. Because we done gave him
Mm-hmm.
a lot. We gave him a lot
Yeah.
to talk about tonight,
Yeah,
man. I'm glad
and
you came up with
I really appreciate you speaking to you. I peeped it when you was on speaking to Miss Hanley, and I like to chop it up with her too, because she know a lot about the political scene and stuff like that,
it.
and
Check
I
this
like
out.
to learn like that. Like, that's the stuff y'all are speaking, the stuff that a lot of people need to hear, because they don't know. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
They
check this
don't
out.
know that you can call your city council. You
Right.
know what I'm saying?
Well, check this out. This is what we can do. This is what we can do, bro. And
Right.
again, I'm gonna leave it here. We can set up a power panel, man. Maybe we can get on Zoom or something, and we can have as many people as we can fill it up, and we all just dialogue and talk about it, man, and see if we can come up with some answers. And if at best, we could just dialogue and help each other out. You know what I'm saying? Come up with
Always,
different
man.
ideas and different things. You feel me? You down with that?
Always, always, always.
All right, no doubt.
Long as it's positive, I don't have no problem with it. I like, what I'm saying, the topic. I enjoyed the conversation. I enjoy speaking to you. Like I said, like, I'm looking forward to talking to you again.
No doubt. Be more, man. I really appreciate you, bro.
All right.
I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna end this because I got to get up and go to work in the morning. But be more.
Yes.
You be careful. You be careful out there, bro. Okay.
Always, always.
All
You
right, no doubt. All right, y'all, man. I really appreciate y'all for stopping through. Rick, I appreciate that. Yeah, we're just trying to build, man. That's what it's all about, man. Enough of the. I say enough of the the BS that's going on. This Corona thing has made all of us kind of, get in touch with our inner self and try to figure this thing out. And I think that's from our higher power, trying to bring us back in tune with who we are and what our real mission is on this planet. You feel me? Our real purpose is. And nobody's gonna stop us. You know what I'm saying? Nobody's gonna stop us. We got some things to do, but we can't be stopped. Believe that shit. But look, y'all could have been anywhere on these YouTube streets, but damn it, y'all came here and fucked with the kids. So I appreciate that. Until the next time, salute. Peace. Out the gate, I got my fist pointed to the sky. If you've been woke, then I shouldn't have to tell you why. I'm a king in my own right, say I lie. To a prince, this what it sounds like when doves cry. Many men are woke and many men are still asleep. Many men have fought and many men lay 6 feet. Many men have been shot down as the preacher preach. Some men are leaders, but many men are just sheep. We in the world where niggas will take your life for pocket change. Where niggas will set you up and wet you up for clout and fame. A world where niggas been taught to hate themselves with so much pain. Grab a pistol, put in work instead of using their brain. It's moves being made, plays being played, guns being sprayed, niggas in the hood dying every day. The block is so hot, cops being shot, niggas getting locked. That's the plot. Fiend hustle over rocks. It's time to take a stand, time to make a plan, time to come together, every child, woman, and man. Malcolm X was any means, King had a dream. Rallied the team, but realized it wasn't what it seemed. Once upon a time, there was a man who died, gave his life to the world. On the stake, he cried. Asked his father to forgive him, he was crucified. God gave his only child so we could live in the sky. We protest for equality, but nothing changed. Marching the streets is in peace, but shit stay the same. Black Lives Matters is the word we chant. We'll burn this bitch down if you don't agree with that. You leave us no choice. You give us no voice.